Day of the month of June 2026, Monday, first trading day of the week, first trading day of the month. Thank you very much from wherever you are. I'm really excited. And as we always know how we do it here, happy new month to everyone who has just joined us from wherever you are across the world. This is Net Worth Investors Club. We are back again to do what we know how to do best, skimming through the markets to see opportunities as they lie before us so we can take maximum advantage. I'm really firing on all cylinders because we are now halfway into the year 2026. And my joy is that financially, we are much more better than we started the year. If you agree with me, go on the comments now and type happy new month. Thank you very much, everyone. You've made it a fantastic year so far. Halfway into the year, how is your portfolio doing? Do a portfolio assessment and let's see how it goes, because that's going to be part of the discussions today. We are not just here for theory, we are here for practicals. Everyone, while we are going on with this session, anyone who will call in, please do an assessment of what your portfolio performance is. Remember, the first trading day of this year was January the 2nd, 2026, and I did share my stock prediction for the year 2026. How is it faring as well? Maybe after this live stream, within the week, I will try to do a video and let us see how we are performing in terms of the stock predictions for the year 2026. And of course, for you out there, how was your portfolio on the 2nd of January when the year started? And how is it doing right now? How many percentage profits have you made? How many percentage growth have you made? How much dividends have you accumulated between January and now? This is going to be a major part of the discussion. So if you are planning to talk with us today when the lines will be open by 1 p.m., I want you to arm yourself with this data because we want to see practical performances of what we have been laboring for. 6th month of the year. How is your portfolio doing? Because we are halfway into the year 2026. Is it progressing? Is it retrogressing? Let's find out. But before then, you know how we do it here. I will go on to take the review of trading activities as it panned out last week, and then we will come back to your comments, carry on till 1 p.m. Nigerian time before we take your calls on TikTok. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new month, a brand new week, and a brand new day. I am your wealth creation enthusiast with a passion for helping individuals and corporate organizations build their personal and corporate net worth via investing in the stock market. Thank you very much. I can see your responses and the comments. So let's progress right away on to the review of trading activities as far as last week was concerned. The Nigerian exchange top best performing stocks in 2026 May delivered returns ranging from 80.55% to 37%. The market remained firmly in the positive territory. The all-share index returned 3.35% in May, representing its slowest month's gain of 2026 after April's strong added at 8,107. 60.5 trillion naira. Trading activities remain strong, with investors exchanging more than 18 billion shares during the month, while the market extended its streak of positive monthly performances from January through May. Although large cap stocks such as Dangote Cement, which rose 21.65%, provided significant support for the index, the spotlight in May 2026 belonged to mid-cap and small-cap companies, which dominated the Nigerian exchange's top 10 performers. If you recall, when the big guns were running between March and April, I told you there's going to be a change of baton, meaning the small cap stocks will take over the baton from the big caps, while the big caps slow down. Exactly what was recorded last month. This is the 28 years experience you are going to continue to benefit from as we make progress. For example, there's something many people are not considering in their permutations and postulations for the year 2026 towards the end and in January 2027. as we progress. Let's not forget to be a sell-off before the election due to the fears of especially foreign portfolio investors. We will find out as the day goes by. But you know what? A whole lot of change is happening, because I'm doing a video shortly and I will post this week, and you will see how retail investors, Nigerian institutional investors and retail investors have taken over the lion's share of trading activities as far as the first quarter of 2026 is concerned. So if that continues through the year 2026, then we should not expect any kind of experiences we used to have pre-election year towards the end. A lot of change is going on, and it is in our best interest. Ladies and gentlemen, I go on and continue with the review of trading activities in the past month. Learn Africa, top 10 gainers for the month, gained 37%. And then, of course, we have so many others I may not be able to patiently go through, because I want to hear from you. How is your portfolio doing? If you are just joining us, this is Net Worth Investors Club, our global live stream that takes place every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 to 2 p.m. Nigerian time. We are looking for market opportunities. We brainstorm together, review, analyze, and then we get in ourselves to invest to grow our net worth. We are excited to do this together, because birds of the same feather flock together, and at the same time, no one can overshadow the other, or no one's gain will lead to the other one's loss. So we are really excited to do this together. And interestingly, we are 9,000 members plus now in our community on Discord. So if you want to join us, it's all free. Just like this live stream is always free. Do well to send me a DM on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, send me a DM, and make sure you join us for free. But please, if you join Net Worth Investors Club, nobody's coming to ask you to bring your money. Okay? It's a do-it-yourself club. For your cyber security and safety, do not be lured out of the group. Everything we say in the open is all we do in the secret. So no one comes to tell you anything outside what we say, so that you don't get deceived and duped. Ladies and gentlemen, our tantalizers is tantalizing today. Our tip is on fire again. That tip will make many rich. I repeat, tip will make many rich. A lot is going on, and it is in your best interest. No sound. Why? On YouTube, again, why? We can't continue this way. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just not the standard, okay? Okay, ladies and gents, let's make progress this morning. Please, YouTube has confirmed to me again whether or not there is no sound right there, because we can't continue to go back and forth with this arrangement. Okay, it doesn't look like is something wrong with the audio. Let's see. Hello, YouTubers. Please confirm to me if the sound is okay now, because we can't continue this way if we do not have the best of sound production for our YouTubers, Facebookers, and Twitter users. Okay. All right, all devices are switched on and working perfectly, so I wouldn't know where the problem is right now. All right, let's take your comments. Ladies and gents, I'm joined by moderators, as always, Maobi, Rehoboth, Dr. B. Rich, Mr. Tony, Mr. Luke, Seaway, Kaka, Isaac. Every one of our admins will be here to join us. Right, let's make progress. Good afternoon, Coach. Can I go ahead to add Aradel and Tip to my portfolio, and at what price? EFI Gift, those are very, very good stocks that you should have for life. So for me, if you are investing long term, you don't even need to bother about price these days, because right now the market is at that point where, as anticipated, the little bit of sell in May and go away syndrome is now. So a lot of stocks you buy now, are going to be at very good prices. But if you are holding for the long term, then good for you. I saw Aradel trading lower than the 1,000 closed, which is fair. That means you can buy Aradel at 1,008 plus. I'm trying to check in now to see what Aradel is doing. That's Aradel there, 1,844, lower than the 1,933 close on Friday. So good for you, 1,844 or 1,840. And then for tip is actually down. I mean, on full bid as we speak. I saw it on full bid before coming on live. So let me go back to see what's going on with tip at the moment. So after closing at 28 naira per share on Friday, tip is currently at 31 naira 15 kobo. All right, there's been a little bit of more supply now for tip, 31 naira 15 kobo per share, 7.6 million bids versus 601,000 offers. So the offers, some more offers just came in. It was doing full bid for some hours. 660 million naira has been spent on tip. So you can buy immediately at 31 naira 20 kobo or 31 naira 15 kobo. That's if it ever pulls back below 30, then that will be a good price. But for now, it's in serious demand, so it may not come that low. Good day, coach. Please recommend 2 growth stocks with 5 million budget. Growth stocks with 5 million budget. One thing with growth stocks, are you willing and ready to wait for the growth? Because you need a lot of patience when you are buying a growth stock. Everybody seems to be enjoying the move that tip is making now, but it was not so some years back when it used to be crawling in its growth stage. Still at the growth stage, but looks like it's building up capacity to eventually become a value stock soon. So what growth stocks are we looking at here? Growth stock that is not penny is what you may be needing. And maybe just maybe ROT Briscoe looks like it's in that category now, even though the debt level is not very encouraging, but they are doing a whole lot to change that completely. Sasa says she's excited to be here. Thank you very much, Sasa. We appreciate your presence as well, and hopefully you get the most of your presence in this community. We do not have a WhatsApp group. We are on Discord app. So if you want to join the Discord app, just follow me on Instagram, send me a DM requesting to join, and you'll be admitted with details of how to join. Morning, coach. Please can't remember how to fund my Morgan account. Trillion, you can't remember? All right, I will remind you. All you need to do is get their account number. Search your email for the first message sent to you. You will see their bank details. And then while you're doing your transfer, make sure you indicate your full name and CHN number as transaction narration. When you forward the money, then maybe you should do a quick email reminder as well, just to make the process faster for you. And then you can see the money in your dashboard in a couple of hours. That's how to fund your Morgan Capital account. Some people may be thinking I'm talking junk here, but Morgan was the last broker I was using before I discovered Atlas and started using Atlas as well. So like I said, in my 28 years so far, I've used about 6 stockbroking firms. So Atlas is my 6th stockbroking firm. Some of the names, if I mention them, you may not even have heard about them before because they've gone under the bridge. Okay, coach, please speak to QTIC's report. I should speak to QTIC's report? Lakeside, you mean I should speak about QTIC's report? Okay, I will find time if time permits me to do so. right? Okay, Frank says there is sound now. Thank you very much. There is sound now on YouTube. Okay, the engineers are working tirelessly. Some of them have been fired because I will not take this nonsense of a thing. You know, we are working tirelessly to reach out to multitudes who really need the information we are sharing here. So we can't afford to be lax. Unless you don't, as far as it's incompetence, then there is no need having you around. Okay. So what's your take on Uni-Insure? Universal insurance. I have my problems with spending time analyzing penny insurance stocks because they don't really impress when you trust them the most. I'm very, very careful. But Uni-Insure is a very good, the numbers look very interesting, very exciting. But then when will they become powerhouses? So for me, I try to play safe with insurance stocks. The only pennies I always look at are the three I'll always mention: Cornhall, Mutual Benefits Assurance, ICO. Otherwise, I go for Custodian and NEM. But these pennies, I've learned my lessons from them as well, my personal lessons many years back. So I'm not too keen on them. But for the ₦1 penny stocks, Uni-Insure is a good one if that is what you are eyeing for now. All right. Okay. Good morning, coach. Please, what's the enterprise for tantalizers? Oh my God. That's coming from Nonchalant. Nonchalant. Tantalizers is flying this morning. Tantalizers is flying this morning after closing at ₦4.89 on Friday. It's currently ₦5.29. But interestingly, I'm now seeing there are more offers than bids. So how is the price still as high as $5.29? I wouldn't understand. Maybe a system glitch. So this is what I'll do now. I will go on to sign on somewhere else in another account just to be double sure that this is not a glitch. Because sometimes it can be very deceptive when these glitches happen. So you want to quickly recheck and double check. So just give me a second. I'm going back to log into another account to see what the performance is there. As far as the bid and offer status of Tantalizers is concerned. So just hold on a minute. I'll get back to you. I'm almost there now. Let's do this. Down all the way we go to Tantalizers, and what do we have there? Tantalizers at ₦5.19 right now. And then what's the bid and offer status? The same. Okay. So there's no glitch. 13.4 million offers. The offers for Tantalizers are very much more than the bids versus 6.4 million bids. Yet, price is still higher than the previous closing price. It's now down to ₦5.10. I think a lot of activities is going on in Tantalizer, but not too much. Just 10.7 million shares already traded. What's your take on Bitter Glass? Biggest FA. Bitter Glass is going to be paying their dividend this month, ₦7.20 per share. My take is wherever it dips to, especially post dividend payment, post markdown. I don't know what the markdown date is, but I think that will be a good time to see where it settles to buy more, because this stock, my major attraction to this stock is the fundamentals are now solid. They've done a whole lot of work for future growth, and then most importantly, the number of shares, that's shares outstanding, very few. That creates room for a little bit of maybe bonus shares or rights issue or what have you, or even I would say maybe consistent dividend, a chance to even grow dividend payments per share. Coach, please, any news on Aradel's report? IKC, the latest news about Aradel's report is that they were unable to meet up with that deadline they initially promised, and therefore have shifted the goalpost to the 19th of this month. Hold on, I'll get there and give you my view as far as this is concerned. First off, there is no pampering any company or stock here. It is not okay that Aradel didn't meet up with the time they requested for. Now, we all know they bought two major assets, which means they will need more time to update their books. Depending on when they got access to all of the finances of those two major assets that is going to be added to their books, we do not know how soon they got access and all that, but they shouldn't have promised 31st of May if they knew that they would not be able to catch up. They could have rather requested for more time, much more time, and give that date once and for all, so the market does not feel a bit deceived or let down based on their expectations from the company. You know, trust is everything. Not that anything major is wrong, but I feel they should have been more conservative with the timeline that they promised to release their report. But in any case, the actual situation this very moment is that Aradel has requested for an extension, and I'm trying to get the information usually from the NGX platform, but it looks like there's a bit of a glitch and I'm not able to get in there. But I saw the notification. So such a notification is very important because you kept people waiting for 31st. So if it's not coming out, then you have to come up with something. And that was how they come up with something. They are still tidying up those reports, because another thing is that you shouldn't go wrong with the inclusion in any part of those financials of the new assets that they have taken up. You should not make any errors. So if, for instance, they were quick and then found an error, it's better late than carrying on with such an error in a very sensitive report like that. So that's the situation with Aradel. Good afternoon, sir. What's your take on QTix? The same platform on NGX where I should have accessed the report for QTix is where we're having that glitch. So I may not be able to say much until I see the reports. Hello, I'm in my 40s and want to build my portfolio for long term. I want to top up my portfolio with 1 million. I have MTN, Dang Cement, Dang Sugar, Tip Fertilizers, UBA, Aradel. Thanks. Okay. Achisoba, 1 million to top up any of these ones you have. I will say go ahead, fortify your Aradel or UBA. Aradel because of the expected dividends to come in, UBA because it's still very low where it is. There are so many things to top up from what you have shared, but I think those two very key. How do I view Niger stock charts? Michael Jude depends on your broker, and if you do not have a broker that gives you such access, then you may want to go on the NGX website to patiently wait and view delayed data, because that's what you can get for free. From time to time they upload latest prices for you. Good day, coach. Is International Energy Insurance IPO on Carry-wise a good buy? Oluwaseun Abosede, I do not think it is the best insurance company at the price it is being quoted. Unless you see any contrary views that are much more convincing to you, then make sure you are investing with patience, because there is a way these stocks behave. I've said my opinion. Now, let me also share with us that all the views and opinions expressed in this live stream are entirely mine. They are not financial advice. Please do your due diligence. But you know what? There is a very clear tendency and likelihood that after the public offer, it may just go below this public offer price or whatever market price it is. What do? You have to be ready for the worst as well. That is, if that's where you're really convinced to put money. Okay, what do you advise for holders of TransPower shares? Share price is nosediving. Cheryl Music. Actually, TransPower is not performing in terms of dividend payout compared to the stock price. And so holders are trying to sell to move on to other assets or stocks that promises better. So what I will advise is be on the queue. Unfortunately, it's a very long queue because every day in the past couple of months, Transpower has remained on full offer, meaning there are offers but zero bids on a daily basis. So in the end, they trade like 5,000 shares or 2,000 shares or even 1,000 shares at the end of a whole trading day. So it's a serious challenge. A lot of money is tied down there. That's why holders are happy to sell very low as long as they find anyone who can come and buy. How can one claim rights issue? Umar Muhammad. Simple. Send an email to your broker. Ask them to furnish you with the rights issue form. Complete it, take up your rights, fund the account, return it to broker, and broker will debit you accordingly and submit your form and your capital invested to the registrars to handle. Good afternoon, coach. What recommendations do you have for kids aged 9 and below? Abiola, for kids aged 9 and below, I would go with the likes of Magnico, Tantalizers, Charms, Cornhole, Mutual Benefits Assurance. Then I will back it up also with my Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank. Then TIP will also be a part of it so that there is some level of strength and backbone to the portfolio. Because time is on their side, we will now sit by and watch it grow over time. Then from time to time, we'll come back to top up with some mid-cap stocks. I'm talking about stocks around 50 naira and below. Okay, so that will be that for now. 2 million each. All right, so you can deploy accordingly, pick from the best that you think is good for them. There's a lot of comments. I'm struggling to meet up with them, but let me try. Ray Holmes says, is NACO good to buy at current price? I don't have it. You see, the comments continues to fly away. Okay, Ray, NACO is a good stock to buy. It seems to be dipping in the last couple of weeks, but it can actually rebound. The market is always like that. From time to time, you see situations where prices fluctuate. If you're used to this, then you don't have a problem. The next thing to happen is for these stocks to recover from whatever dip that they have experienced. So this is actually a very good time to buy your NACO if you feel like. Currently 189 naira 50 kobo. It's actually at equilibrium stage. The same price closed on Friday, and some people have already put in about 33 million naira into NACO. Bids are almost double the size of the offers, so looks good. Once again, good time to buy NACO. Good afternoon, coach. What recommendations? Okay, I've done that recommendation for your kids aged 9 and below. Hello, coach. Why haven't I received my bonus shares on NACO? Oh, Gloritzi, I'm very sorry. I do not work for NACO. You know, we're all here as retail investors trying our best to follow up development, but no one else has received their bonus shares from NACO. So give it time, and we may all eventually get ours. Okay. Hi. Hey, coach. Good morning. What do you think about FCMB, please? Bonnie Cox. FCMB, for me, is not amongst the best second-tier banks. Honestly speaking, I'd rather go for a UBA or a WEMA. Of course, both are more expensive for a reason. I would even go for Fidelity instead of going for FCMB, based on how very poor their dividend can be. And the most important thing for me is the excess supply of that particular stock. Every time it manages to make any major move in terms of price action, then the next thing you will find that stock being oversupplied. And then it will fall back to the old price. That's where I have a problem with that stock. Blazy Daisy says, Coach, I have 200K to buy 1 or 2 growth penny stocks for long term. Which would you recommend? Which ones do you already have? If you don't have any penny stock, then my best go-to is still Tantalizers. There was a time when it used to be tip, and tip went from 2 naira to 5 naira, 5 naira to 7 naira to 10 naira, all within last year, and now that's the tip doing 30. Now, this time around, Tantalizers, I think Karate Briscoe is still okay, even though it's not a penny. Good afternoon, Coach. Please, of age 55 and I've only 30K units of tip, please. I have 2 million. 3 upstairs. Why not build your tip so you know that you have a solid growth stock that is metamorphosing into a value stock? I will strongly advise, but if you are 55, now tip has not started paying so much in terms of dividend. Do you already have dividend paying stocks? If you do not have dividend paying stocks, then it becomes a challenge because you need to focus on dividend stocks at this stage. But you know what? If growth is your major focus, then please go ahead and grow your portfolio with more tip so that for instance, suddenly tip is paying 30 kobo per share dividend. They may want to retain that amount because of the bonus, the public offer and rights issue they just did, which must have diluted their shares, but the earning potential is so great. So before they start paying 50 kobo and 1 naira per share, you must have accumulated enough at a cheap price. Otherwise, you go for dividend payers who are very frequent and substantially so, the likes of Zenith Bank, GTCO, but then the 2 million will not fetch too much of those stocks, So if you are looking for serious growth at 55, I would say go for maybe even Dangote Sugar. Yes. That stock is a 120, 150 naira stock in the next 1 year. Okay, no, just tip. I'm trying to get a global search on some UBA I might have. I only have tip now. Okay, 3 upstairs. The tip you have is not enough. I'd rather you pile in on that tip because the interest mounting on tip is something else. Okay. Keep the comments coming in, ladies and gentlemen, and let's have a great time. It's the first trading day of the brand new month of June, and of course, first week. Thanks, Coach. I appreciate. Okay, good day, Coach. I do not always hear you encourage us to buy Access. Is there something you are not telling us? Toyin Obayuwana. There is everything I have told you about Access. Maybe you were absent from class, but that's why we have the YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is there for you to go back and replay every live stream, apart from the ones we will be having issues with. Access has not impressed well enough amongst the tier 2 banks. In fact, to even consider that they are also amongst the what you call the Fugas, 5 top Nigerian banks. They are not doing very well in terms of dividend payouts because of their stance in going ahead after acquisition of other banks. Then in the last AGM of last year, the MD, Aigboje Aikimokwede, promised shareholders they were going to step up, that they were deliberately going to now slow down on acquisitions and try to create more shareholder value by paying more dividends. Unfortunately, there was forbearance to take care of and perhaps NPL to deal with, and CBN insisted that banks that have not cleared their NPL and forbearance issues must do so before ever paying dividends. Now, even the stoppage of dividends is not all of the punishment. The CBN also insisted that top management will not benefit from the kind of lavish bonuses they were getting if they don't clear this. So it was a, I would say, a fiscal measure that the CBN took, a much more disciplined approach to dealing with some of these things. And it's really commendable from the CBN. So in the end, the banks become better banks, okay? Stronger, healthier, and so on. So we could not judge whether or not the management kept to their promise, because this was now beyond them. And so the market behavior towards access remains the same. When the market is unimpressed with your dividends or your dividend culture, then what they do is they abandon you and go for your peer. That's why you can see a stock like Wema Bank selling at 30 something. Wema has a regional license. They're only going to get a national license soon, but they are doing so well, paying shareholders fantastically, handsomely, and so they get rewarded. And suddenly Wema is more expensive than both Fidelity, FCMB, and Access. Right? So the market rewards you for your performance. Hello, coach. Any idea why tip is here to allot to a brokerage account? G Money Stories. Who is your broker? Please stay patient if all you are waiting for is the rights issue, because even myself, I've not gotten the rights issue. So a lot of us have not gotten the rights issue. I think they started by allotting the public offer. You know why? Because there are more public offer subscribers, and of course first impression matters. So they want to make sure that they attend to public offer subscribers, and then before they come to the rights. You're already an existing shareholder, so you don't have so much of a I would say an apprehension compared to how scared or afraid or worried a new investor would be. So as they finish with allotment of public offers shares to successful subscribers, they will certainly come back to the rights issue and carry on. I think that's what's going on with tip allotment. Hello, good afternoon. Nice to see you. I have £2,000 that I need. Why is this thing jumping away? I'm wasting my time now. I have £2,000 that I need back in November ending. Which stock can I buy so the money is not wasting? Thanks. That's coming from Easy Nadele. Oh, is it Easy Nadele? Okay. £2,000 to invest between now and November. I want to assure you that there is no fixed returns in the stock market. The important thing is to understand the market you are investing in. Very, very important. The stock market does not do fixed. It's not a fixed asset class. So stocks are not fixed asset class investments. So you have to know that. Next is, therefore, if you want to pick a stock between now and November, I will also let you know by benefit of hindsight, based on experience, that November is not the best time to sell, because by that time stock prices have dropped. We are in the month of June, the very first day of June now. So if you buy a stock now, the best time to sell it, because you need the money in November, should be around October. Never ever wait till November. And now it doesn't have to wait till the end of October. Meanwhile, T+1 is taking effect from today, 1st of June, meaning you sell a stock today, tomorrow you get value for your money. Trading day +1, 2 days, or will we say it's a 24 hours? I don't know, but trading day +1, so that means it could be 2 days. It's taking effect from today. So the Nigerian market is really, really now up there with the international market as far as settlement cycle is concerned. Some people do not know how this operates, and let me also explain that. It used to be T+3 for so many years. Then they changed it to the advance to T+2, I think last year. Now it's T+1, and that T+1 takes effect today, 1st June 2026. Why is this so? Remember, no two people can come and buy stocks amongst themselves or sell to themselves. You need a stockbroker. So everyone who is investing is using a stockbroker as the licensed dealing member of the stock exchange. Now, if myself and let's say Kaka have interest in a stock, she owns Aradel, I want to buy Aradel. She wants to sell the Aradel as well. She puts her offer in the market. I see the offer and decide to buy. Assume she uses Atlas portfolios and I use Meristem. Okay? When that transaction is done, she sells, I buy. That means money is supposed to go to her because she sold. You know what happens? At the end of the trading day, all stockbrokers settle down to now harmonize. Okay? All the buys that happened between Meristem and Atlas will now be checked. And then they will even themselves out. And at the end of the day, the one with the highest deficit, excess, will now be given a check to that tune. So that process has to happen between the brokers. So, or if on that very day or in that very month, depending on how they do the settlement, it's daily, okay? Only that transaction took place. That means I, from Meristem, bought from Kaka in Atlas. It means Meristem will issue a check to Atlas for Kaka's money. Atlas will now present the check in the bank to go through the clearing process, usually 3 days. That's why it used to be T+3. So that the check clears, the money drops in Atlas's account. Atlas will now credit Kaka for the amount due her for that sale. So those are the things that goes on after you and I have clicked our buttons, sell, buy, this and that. So after all that, but now they've cleaned it up to be T+1. T stands for transaction day plus 1 day. All clearing and everything has to be completed so that the seller will be able to get value for their money maximum 2 days. So you sell today, they use tomorrow to do clearing, next day the money is in your account. Or that same tomorrow, the money is in your account. Or the money is available for you to withdraw into your bank account. So the market is getting more efficient, and that will really be very appealing to foreign portfolio investors. And for you who are already in the market, you benefit more when more money is coming into the market because stock prices will keep climbing. And so a re-rating could be coming. Plus the fact that by September this year, the Nigerian economy itself as a whole is going to be upgraded in terms of its rating. And that will open us up to a lot more of inflow of capital. Hi coach, is it advisable to top up my Aradel or go for a new stock? Heavenly, go ahead and top up your Aradel. Okay. Hello coach, can I exit Sterling, QTix to top up Beta Glass and M benefits? It depends if that suits you. Why not? Those are two. First, mutual benefits it looks a bit more promising than even a Sterling. Sterling is also in that situation with access. Every little move above 7 and 8 is met with heavy supply that pushes it back down. So if you are tired of those stocks, go ahead and take strong position in the other two. Not bad move at all. Coach, what's your opinion about UACN? Now, UACN has a lot of time, needs a lot of time to really become the monster that it is. For now, UACN will be first paying up all sorts of facility that they used to acquire Chi Limited. Part of the acquisition of Chi Limited is going to go to them, to going to be funded from their earnings and so on. So they may not be able to pay as much as they ought to, but the value of that company remains very solid, and it can only get better from here. Okay, so every time you see UACN drop under 200, 180 and under, it's a fantastic time to buy UACN. Please, sir, I bought Zenith Bank shares in 2008. Veritas only confirmed my original units with no bonus shares added, despite a 1-for-2 bonus in 2009 and 2010. Final bonus 1-for-4. What can I do? Very simple. Who is your stockbroker? Because you need to work with your stockbroker right now. If you have a stockbroker, if you do not have, please, I'm talking to Dio now on YouTube. If you do not have a stockbroker, open a stock brokerage account, request for a global search of your stocks on CSCS. Just maybe the stocks are there, your CSCS statement, so that you now instruct your broker to dematerialize those stocks from CSCS into your brokerage account. Okay, because bonus shares do not fly into your trading account automatically. It's supposed to be lodged in your CSCS, and if you have a CSCS account already and you see that it's not there, then you now confront the broker to say, look, I had this, you must find my stock for me, otherwise I report you to SEC. Very simple. All right. Oludayo Makinde says, what items of a company's financial reports should we look out for in measuring the company's performance and judge it worthy of being invested in? Oludayo, there are three key statements to look at: the profit and loss statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. For profit and loss, you want to see consistent profitability, not just revenue growth. A lot of times, a company can be growing revenue and profit is not there. It's possible. Okay? And so it should trickle down to consistent growth in profit after tax, down to earnings per share. So a loss-making company is a no-no unless they experience a temporary hitch and then are trying to find their way out. In that case, you watch their quarterly progression, whether they are coming out of that pit they fell into. But by all means, if you want to invest, look for companies that are profitable and are consistent in growing their earnings. Outside that, you go on to the cash flow statement. You want to see that there is sufficient free cash flow, because that is what cannot be manipulated. If business is going on, cash must be flowing in and out. So the cash flow statement shows you how money flows in and how it flows out, and the efficiency of the management of the capital or the cash. Okay, then the balance sheet. That is another one that you can't that will show you the health of the company. Health in the sense that if a company is heavily in debt, it may not show in the profit and loss statement or profit and loss account, but you will find it in the balance sheet. Okay, the balance sheet shows you the total of the assets versus the liabilities, and then what is left. So if the company is so much in debt that their net asset is a negative, then that's a company that is already dying. You should run away from. So you want to see company that also grows their balance sheet. That's why to do a comprehensive financial report for any company, you need a 3 to 5 years collection of their reports. All of these reports, you compare the growth very important. Then of course you are a shareholder. There's a different thing to look out for as a shareholder in the books of a company versus as a business owner who wants to buy the company. There are two different things. For you shareholders, you want to take a good look at the shareholders' funds, how it grows. It should never be depleted. But some companies deplete shareholders' funds for specific reasons. Maybe a major capex is going on and they need to dip their hands in their reserves. And that was the case with UACN when they had to go and acquire Chi Limited. Okay, but outside of that, shareholders' funds or shareholders' equity must continue to grow, because it is in the growth of shareholder equity that you will see that stock price will eventually function. Why? I mean, increase or grow. Why? Because those are the parameters that helps to maybe help with bonus shares issuance, dividend payments, or increased dividend payout, or even acquisitions that grows the company overnight. Then of course, organic growth too can happen. Okay, so these things are not easy to explain, I will say theoretically, and that's why a proper masterclass is required for this, where we take 2 hours. That's a lot of work to do. So that's how to check for a company to invest in. Hi coach, please can you speak on international energy insurance? Everybody keeps asking this question for over 1 week now. I have no interest in that stock. I haven't read the offer prospectus for the IPO, and my easiest judgment is that I did it last week. I saw that, I compared it with the likes of ICO, Mutual Benefits, and just watch last week's I think Friday or Wednesday's video. You will see what happened there. Okay, so I'm really not moved by that particular stock. Why is there no sound on Instagram this time? What is taking away this Instagram sound? Okay, so what I'll do, Instagram family, is to shut down the video, I mean the live stream, and start again. So just stay on and let's get back on Instagram. Okay, just to improve the sound. Hello coach, what items? Okay, I'm done with that. Shall we progress from here? Ladies and gentlemen, keep your comments coming in. We have 8 minutes before we start taking your calls on TikTok, but before then, let's make progress with your comments. Let's go on to Facebook and see the comments there. Coach, talk about Fidelity dividend. Favor eBay. Fidelity is not paying dividend, final dividend. Of course, we saw in their report that was not happening. Whether or not they'll be able to pay interim dividend, we'll find out, but that's much later in the year, around October. Okay, good day coach, what about energy insurance? Well, I'm not interested. So is there still no audio? Please, Instagram, let me know. Is there audio now? Can you hear me? Just let me know, please. Coach, what do you think about GTCO, Zenith, and MTN and Apple in the US? Little luxury. Those are solid stocks that you can go for anytime. They are very good stocks. They will pay you. As for GTCO, Zenith, and MTN, they will pay you interim and final dividend. That means 2 dividends every year. Usually the interim dividend is lower than the final. You know, they have elected that they don't need to keep you waiting 1 full year before paying you 1 dividend. So they decide to split whatever they are earning and pay you a bit as interim, and then most of the balance as final dividend, so that you remain liquid in cash. So if you're a retiree now, you have 3 stocks. Those 3 stocks pays dividend twice, meaning you will receive dividends 6 times every year from just 3 stocks. Amy Boss says, how to check or know a growth stock of any company? A growth stock is a stock that is at its infancy level trying to grow. Okay, usually at their penny stock level, or they just left penny stock range and have great potentials to metamorphose into value stock. Sir, I'm done. I'm the one chatting with you. Which stock can I put 850k, sir? Easy Momsi Jamal, you are chatting with me where? Please, I hope someone else is not trying to deceive you somewhere. But if you are in this live stream and no one else you are talking to, then 850,000, what is your investment goal, for example? I'm talking to Eid Momsi Jamal on Facebook. If you are looking at investing 850,000 now, I would simply say buy Dangote Sugar Refinery and stay patient. All right? Okay. Ray Holmes says, morning coach, children between 13 to 18, stock recommendations, sir. Also, is Jais good to hold? Thank you for all you do. This is the rest of the questions from earlier. Also, please share your take on UPDC REIT. Your questions are so many. All right, children aged between 13 and 18. Basically, those 1 million challenge stocks are for them. Mark Nichols, Mutual Benefits Assurance, Tantalizers, Charms, Q-Ticks, Consolidated Hallmark Insurance, Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank. I've mentioned 7 already. Okay, that's for them. Then you want to fortify whatever you pick for them a bit. Then you pick the likes of TIP, RT Briscoe, and maybe, just maybe, Fidelity Bank to create some level of strength. So that's what you can do for the children. Okay, and then you said, is Jais good to hold? Absolutely. We are investing for the long term, not here today, gone tomorrow. That's why I keep talking about this thing. Do well to just concentrate, keep your head down, and stay patient so that these things will yield for you. Jais has had a fantastic year so far, jumping from around 4 or 5 to 9. In fact, it got to 15 before pulling back, right? So it needs time to grow. It really, really needs time to grow. So let's give it a time, okay? And then, of course, UPDC REIT, one of the cheapest REIT stock in the stock exchange currently. For me, I already have it. It's a 1 million challenge stock, but you see, because it's gone past the penny stock range, I don't mention it anymore. So I trust UPDC REIT as a very good cash cow when it comes to this business we are doing, to give you a whole lot of dividend cash flow, because they pay dividend twice also. So if they are able to grow well enough, they will do a lot of wonders. Let me shock some of us. People don't know that UPDC REIT generates more money than SFS REIT. Yet SFS REIT is at 400 and something naira per share, while UPDC REIT is around 11 or something, or 10 naira per share. I want to share something with you. It will shock you. UPDC REIT generates more revenue than SFS REIT. The only difference is that SFS REIT has very fewer number of shares. So the small money they make, even the profit they make, they distribute it to very few shares. That means the dividend is higher. That's why. But over time, you will see UPDC REIT also trying to flex. Just a moment, I'm coming up with those figures because we talk facts here. Okay? Let me check for the 2025 earnings. We are in a knowledge session as well, so we need all of these updates, because a lot of people may wonder, so why is UPDC that cheap? Because everything then boils down to dividend per share. So listen to this. I'm looking at the financial report for 2025. We're using full year financials, okay? Gross total income. SFS REIT total revenue for 2025, the whole year, 717.4 million naira. Listen, it's not up to 1 billion. 717.4 million naira. SFS REIT sells for 400 and something naira per share. Revenue 717.4 million naira. UPDC sells for 10 naira per share. Revenue for 2025 5.12 billion naira. Oh my God. More than 5 times the revenue of SFS REIT. But SFS REIT sells for 400 and something naira. UPDC sells for 10 naira per share. Net profit. That is where SFS REIT now shows unthinkable muscle. 4.11 billion naira. That includes the net assets. UPDC REIT 4.33 billion. So UPDC REIT still has a bigger net profit, 4.33 billion versus 4.11 billion. That's the included SFS's assets. Net operating income, earnings per share, and this is where the whole muscle showed up. 31 naira 72 kobo per unit for SFS REIT. Earnings per share of UPDC REIT 1 naira 62 kobo. So the final detail is in the per share metrics. Total distribution per unit. How much dividend paid in 2025? SFS REIT 28 naira 30 kobo per unit. UPDC REIT 55 kobo per unit. Net asset value. Net asset value. And this is where you determine what you are paying for versus what is your portion when you buy those stocks. In this case, SFS REIT is selling for over 400 naira per share, but their net asset value is 323 naira 11 kobo. That means those who are buying SFS REIT now are paying 100 naira more versus the net asset value. The stock price is 100 naira higher than the net asset value. Whereas UPDC REIT's net asset value 13 naira 30 kobo. So every time UPDC REIT is selling less than 13 naira 30 kobo, you are buying UPDC REIT at a discount. Currently, it's at 10 naira. So you are buying at over 30% discount because the net asset value is 13 naira 30 kobo. Net asset value is when they sell the whole assets of the company. They sell all the properties, the land, everything, and then they remove all the debts that they are owing, pay off all debts, pay off every liability, and then they balance whatever is left. They now distribute per share. As they distribute per share, what comes per share is 13 naira 30 kobo. So for you and me who bought UPDC REIT at 7 naira and 6 naira per share, we paid 7 naira and 6 naira per share for a 13 naira 30 kobo asset. You see the point now? I will not go further. I hope we have gotten some level of education. It's already past 1 p.m. and now it's time for us to take our calls. Who is ready to make a call? Let's go there. Daniel is top on the list. I don't know if this list of callers are actually in order of first come, first serve, but we will go with Daniel because he's ready. Hello, Daniel. Good afternoon. Doing great, and you? Happy New Month to you also. Can you speak a bit louder, please?
Can you hear me?
It's getting better now. Make it a bit louder. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, Daniel.
One of the documents I sent to there's this clause I saw in one of the documents I sent that was sent to me by my stockbroker for interbank transfer. I wanted to just get a clarification about.
Go ahead, we're listening.
Okay. So it says indemnify when they say that the transfer, if the document that you should sign that you indemnify whatever happens to the share, I don't seem to get understand it clearly. Is it that in the process of transferring a share from one company to from one stockbroker to another, is there a possibility it could not get to where it's supposed to be transferred to, or where you may have that clause on the document? That's what I need clarification about.
Afro Color says, hi, house. Is he talking about dung sugar or cement? He's talking about sugar. Hello. Good afternoon. Your name and where you're streaming from. I'm doing great. And you?
Currently streaming from UK. Just wanted to appreciate you for all that you've been doing to us. I'm happy I booked a strategy session with you for tomorrow.
Okay.
1 o'clock.
Wonderful.
We'll afford me the opportunity to go into details.
Fantastic.
All that I need to do concerning my portfolio and seeing how we can better position it. Because I have quite a lot of volume, which was going to be the reason why I decided that it would be better to have the one-on-one strategy session with you so that we can now look at it and see how the portfolios can be better managed.
Perfect. No problems at all.
I look forward to this session tomorrow.
It's all right. Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ike. You know, that one-on-one session, I will now sit down with him. I will consider his age. I'll consider his investment goals. I'll consider his current income stream and to know whether he intends to continue to fund it or he just wants it the way it is. Then we will determine whether he has sufficient dividend stocks in the portfolio or not, depending on what his goal is. If his goal is portfolio size growth or in dividend cash flow, then I will also advise, investment has a lot to do with age as well. I made a lot of mistakes when I started. There was nobody to teach us, no internet, nobody talking to you. You are just looking at newspapers and making mistakes, reading books, rich dad, poor dad, all those things, and just jumbling things up. So I was busy in my small capital that I put little by little when I started out, pursuing dividend stocks that will pay you dividend once a year, not knowing I could have become more aggressive that time to grow the size of the portfolio. Even if by the time I was graduating from university, I was worth over 500,000 naira. But that was good money that time because it could buy you a car that time. But if I stand before you that time, post-graduation, I do not look like who has up to 100,000 in my bank account. But you see, that's why I say, if you have a bank account and you don't have a stock brokerage account, something is wrong with your investment equation. So that's one benefit of the one-on-one. On to the next caller, Peaceful. Hello, good afternoon. All right, we do not have time to waste, so we try to get more callers on board, just in case that was a mistaken call, as I can't detect which is a mistaken and which is a deliberate call. So whoever connects, we proceed. Riams, Chops, and more. Good afternoon, coach. Please, I would like to book for the one-on-one consultation. Thank you, sir. Okay, if you want a one-on-one session, send a DM on Instagram. That's where those requests are treated. So you'll be sent a link to understand the booking process and all that. That's not going to be free. 1 full hour we are talking face to face. and dealing with your matter, so that as we finish, a portfolio that perfectly suits your investment goal is created for you, and then you run with it. Proske Nekagod says, my first time here. Proske, thank you very much for joining. We're excited you dropped by, and hopefully you get value that will eventually grow your money as well and keep you with us so we can assess ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, when we started this session, I told you that we were going to do something in the course of this session. It's the 6th month. You remember, every November we will set our financial and investment goals for the new year, so that we use December to cross-check everything, and from January 1st, we start pursuing the goals. We don't wait till January 1st to start setting goals. Now it's the 6th month of the year. How is your portfolio doing? Let's share in the comments. Do your own calculations. Tell us, between January 2nd, when the first trading day of the year, we started investing, what is the state of your portfolio in terms of growth of the size of the portfolio, irrespective of how much you put in and how much what was there has grown to? Currently, as we speak, based on what it was on the 2nd of January and what it is now, how many percentage portfolio growth have you recorded? Because honestly speaking, even if you added money over time, between that time and now, it's because you kept coming here to hear and got motivated and look, I still need to invest more, fresh funds. So much of your cash that would have been drained out without trace are now trapped in your investment portfolio, which is good for you. So how has your portfolio performed? Let's go on the comments as we drop our comments there also, because we need to let ourselves know you will continue to be accountable for yourselves, and there is no progress without measurement. I remember listing my stock prediction for 2026. I listed a whole number of stocks. I will do a video assessing halfway into the year, how are those stocks doing? All right? Because we are not just here for theory and just talking up and down. This is not, we're not trying to create content. This is real money-making, wealth creation strategy. Portfolio has grown. Cobb, is that enough? That's not enough. Tell me something. It's Ebele says, I am coming for my testimony, coach. Please, we are waiting for you. All right? Check yourselves. October, and that's why, these digital systems are very good. You can just go do your portfolio summary, put the date, January 2nd, total summary, check how much is it, then go back, change the date to June 1st. How much is it? Check the difference and do the percentage calculation. That's all. So you don't need to tell us figures. If you feel like telling us figures, fine. But the point is, what is the percentage growth between January and the 6th month of the year, halfway into 2026? That's why we're here. If you are a caller, do that, and let's also share as you call in. Hi, Ebele Williams says, mine is over 100%. I'm sorry about all of those noises. Obviously, they were not intentional callers. I'm seeing very good feedbacks already on TikTok. 48%. X-Angel says. Sylvie says, my portfolio has grown 90% as of today. 6th month of the year. Yinka Gold says 69%. We have people who are outperforming the NGX. NGX All Share Index year-to-date performance is 60.25%. Look at that. Yinka Gold, 69%. CHIOB year-to-date, it has returned 55%. Doing so well, up 50%, coach. You are the best. I've tripled my portfolio from the past 2 years in just 5 months. 5 months, tripled. Mine is over 100%. Ebele Williams, Prince, Olamoto, 55%. Generally to now, my portfolio is 35% up. That's coming from ZDAP. My portfolio is 30% up. That's coming for Real Osas. Omotala Atitebi, 101% up. Now, you are giving me the conviction and the impression that we are really living up to our names. How? Net Worth Investors Club. I have the passion to help individuals, corporate organizations build their personal and corporate net worth via investing in the stock market. What you are building is your assets, and as long as you are not taking debts, too much debts, and your assets continue to grow more than your liabilities, which includes debts, that means your net worth is growing. So every time we come here, as you hear and take action, your net worth is growing. And can I tell you this? You are amongst the smartest people in the world, because none of you have met me physically. I don't know how many people have met physically. Ikem Benzoic is doing 61%. Listen, when big money is doing 61%, it's a lot. These are numbers that even fund managers cannot do within the 6 months that you have done, because their money is large. If they see 20% and 15%, they are excited in 6 months, not annually. Some of them 20% annually is okay. So when someone like Ikem is doing 61%, the money man, you know how much billions are working there. Oh my God, these guys are so amazing. Benny says my portfolio 80%. It's Ebele says I'm over 60%. Come on now, great achiever, 85%. Between April to May, Messi Vas says 33%. This is not even January. April to May, May, just 2 months, 33%. Doing so well, up to 50%, coach. You are the best. Big fish. The profit ritual says 106%. The year is not over. We're only halfway. Listen, this is a reawakening. Some of you may be feeling laid back, some a bit disappointed or unmotivated because maybe there's no fresh funds to keep chasing stocks. But what has the one you have done performed? And when you see this, you should be encouraged. Because if you didn't do anything at all, then this 56%, 48%, 106%, 80%, 61%, you will not see it. And do you know what? You will be far less in value because you would have spent so much on what you can't lay your hands on. But here you are. You put the money somewhere, it has grown. Whether you have fresh funds or not doesn't matter. What matters is you have something that will keep growing. Joshua, 56%. IAB Foods, 48%. King, 102%. Jill Baby Arena, 127%. 92% from Aradel as the highest. Vic the Great. Coach, I have 65%. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are amazing. VR Okonkwo, 97.08%. This one is so specific. Up to the 2 decimal places. Mine has appreciated 63%. Chimuba Nkechi Gloria. Awesome. The smartest people in the world are the people I'm talking to because they didn't need to meet me. They just need to hear and proceed to perform. We are starting the last month of the second quarter, which is halfway into the year 2026, so wonderfully. You need to keep these records. Just in case you forget, I'm here to keep reminding you, the same way we set goals in November so that we can fly. We have made so much progress. So many people are working hard, doing whatever they are doing, no measurement. You can't assess your performance. So how do you know whether you should put more effort or you should even be encouraged that something good is happening? I am so confident that somebody must have gotten a hint that, oh, I'm not doing badly after all. Something is really working after all. Even when it looks like the market is stagnant, trading sideways, or some stocks have given up what gains they have. Overall performances, a lot of you are doing 100. Look at that. Dr. Be Rich, 103% while topping up. Of course, everybody needs to top up, because if you didn't have what to top up, then that top up funds would have disappeared. But you know what? We are compounding. 116% VOO, that's a lawyer. Dr. Birich doing 103% is a medical practitioner. You think they don't have sense? Now you know they have sense. That beyond their medical practice and their professional legal practice, they know how to grow money. That's what we are all about. You don't need to be an accountant, a banking and finance graduate, an economics graduate, an MBA holder to invest to grow your money. Just have D, which is desire. The rest, GT is doing 200%, Rizel 170% on Aradel alone. Please, how can I check my percentage with the Afro Investor app? Manuchi. I don't know if you need app to check it, but just check what you were in January 2nd and check what it is now. That's the current portfolio size. And then minus the January portfolio size total from the current one. Whatever you have, divide it by the January size, multiply by 100. You will get the percentage value. Chido, 121%. Specialist says Aradel, 246%. Goodness gracious. I could spend the whole time discussing what a fantastic performance you are all having. Duchess Events UK says mine is 81.15%, while an account I manage is 160% and another 39%. Duchess Events Queen UK is managing 2 accounts. They are all flying. Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys are simply amazing. Nikki Mandy, 6%. I started first week of last month already. First week of last month, 6%. Coach, I have 65% January to date and 113% from July 2025, 202% on Aradel. Awesome. We have so many Aradel people here, meaning that dividend must come and it must be fat. Maybe it wants to come at a very, very crucial time. Okay, Biso, you said my portfolio is 132%, Aradel is 162%. Ladies and gents, you guys are simply amazing. Eze Cynthia, 194% on May and Baker. Oh my God. Let's proceed to take more calls. Okay. I'm so excited. What a way to finish the first half of 2026. You guys are really amazing. Let's keep going. Please, can I sell my Stanbic IBTC ETF on top of my tip? Faith Vivian, I would say yes. Good afternoon, sir. Please speak up a bit. Your name and where you're streaming from. Go ahead, sir. Yes, sir. Maybe you should dump it on Dangote Sugar. Oh, is it 30 million? Dangote Sugar. Just give me a second. Let me go through some of these stocks again. Dangote Sugar. a stock like Unilever, Dangote Sugar, Unilever is coming down to 143. It's looking good. PZ at 92 looks good. Maybe 4 stocks, maximum 5. How many have I mentioned now? 3. Okay, you want 1 stock? Yes, go for Dangote Sugar. At 70 something, it's okay. Yes. All right, sir. Let's go ahead. Next callers. Zuben Fastlink. Who is making Chiamaka wonder in awe? Coach, please don't forget to tell us about the update on QTix. Yes, I'm trying to open that. Okay, yeah, the disclosure page is open now. Let's see. QTix year-end financial statement for 2026. Okay. Okay, I think I'm there. Unaudited period ended 1st of May to 30th of April. Okay. Okay, so this is the full year result of QTix. Let's run through the highlights. They put total assets ahead. Assets dropped 14%. That's not a good news for QTix. Liabilities increased 4%, 3.9 billion versus 3.8 billion. Net assets dropped 28%, not looking good. 3.5 billion from 4.8 billion. Capital expenditure, not so important, increased by 6%. Let's go on to total equities. Equities dropped by 28%, not looking very good at all. Equities should be growing from what I explained before when I was talking about what stocks, what to look out for in assessing stocks to buy. Number of shares in issue, that's not important, didn't increase. Even revenue dropped. QTix dropped revenue from 15.77 billion to 14.77 billion. So 1 billion naira drop in revenue, amounting to 6% in revenue decrease. Profit before taxation. QTix did not make a profit in the last financial year. That's very bad. 103% drop from 1.6 billion to a loss of 47 million. So QTix loss before tax 47 million, and for that reason there was no taxation. Okay, profit after tax is a loss after tax of 47 million, 47.9 million from 1.1 billion. I need to do further investigation. You see, when a loss is recorded like this, we need to go and see the details of the statement to know where that loss is coming from. What happened? Earnings per share, because they recorded a loss, automatically there will be no earnings per share. Therefore, it's a loss per share, 68 kobo loss per share from 15 kobo earnings per share in 2025. Okay. Assets will drop because we already saw that assets per share dropped from 1 naira 24 kobo to 1 naira 6 kobo. And share price is rather up 3 naira 6 kobo from 2 naira 43 kobo by this time last year. I need to find out where those losses happened, but the notes to the statement will tell us that. Unfortunately, that will take us some time. How many pages is this? So QTIC's last financial report is not looking impressive at all. We must call a spade and get further details. These prints are quite tiny now. I can't really see these details. I need to point out something for why they lost that much. But if I can't see anything immediately because of time, maybe I'll take time to do this and then come back tomorrow. We must find the reason why the losses happen with QTICs. Just the same way when we saw losses in Dangote Sugar, we could trace it to foreign exchange losses from dollar-denominated invoices for raw materials. So I really need to know whether these losses are justified. But time will not really allow me to check this now because it can be very, very cumbersome. Okay, so that's the position with QTICs. Result unimpressive. Good afternoon, coach. Please talk about Ella Lakes. Ella Lakes, after returning public offer monies, went back to where now at 9 naira plus, nothing much. Suleiman Salami says, my 19-year-old daughter, her portfolio is 90.5% up from 11.6 million to 20 million. Goodness gracious. 19-year-old child, her dad has already created a 20 million portfolio for her. He invested 11.6 million. It's now worth 20 million, rising by 90.5%. She's only 19. Net Worth Investors Club. We are not only raising billionaires amongst us, we are raising a generation after us of billionaires. Okay, good morning, coach. I am still building my targets on all my stocks, but I don't have sugar. And you need sugar because sugar is the sweetness of life, isn't it? Sugar is very sweet. So, Lovett is asking, do you think I should buy some now to secure a good entry price or build my existing stocks? You don't want to miss out on the tasty sugar, so you need to buy some now. Then wait to see. If it drops below your enterprise, you buy more. Then even if it doesn't drop any further, at least you've gotten a good entry to top up later so that your final average may not be as high as whenever you decide to top up. So add sugar to the flavor of your portfolio because it will add sweetness to the taste. Good afternoon, coach. Please, what stock would you advise a beginner in her 30s? Ianoluwa Alakaloko. Okay. Beginner in her 30s. For some serious growth stocks, serious-minded growth stocks. Let's see. Serious-minded growth stocks. UBA looks good for you. UPDC REIT looks good for you. But now it depends on how much you have, so you don't overspread. I think that Dangote Sugar also looks good for you right now. Then you can add a stock like ROT Briscoe. Looks good for you. Then, of course, if you like, you can add a PZ. 30s. Looks good. Okay? Is Bamboo managed Is Bamboo Managed US portfolio good to invest in it? I don't understand. Otumba Senator, please rephrase your question. Coach, good afternoon. Union Homes REIT or UPDC REIT, which do I go for? Omozwati Abulimen. I think you should, it will depend on how much cash. If you have huge volume of cash, Union Homes REIT. Later you can come back for UPDC REIT. But if the cash is not much, then go for UPDC REIT. All right? Okay. Let's continue with the course. I hope that the most serious callers are not down the pecking orders, because I don't understand how TikTok arranges this thing. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Coach.
Your name and where you're streaming from?
My name is Bamdele. I'm calling from the US.
Bamidele from the US. We are glad to have you. Please proceed.
I just want to appreciate your effort and I need to wish you everything. Though just this year, just 3 months ago, I find out about you anyway.
Okay.
So far, I've been investing like before now, both in Nigeria and both in the US here. And I have almost like 20 stocks which I'm investing in.
Okay.
Here in America, I have like, let me say like 10.
Okay.
In Nigeria, I have like 20. But since I met you, you said you should not
Overspread.
going by. It's like whatever people say, I just go for it. But knowing you now shows that no, I need to go for a particular one. Which those ones I chose, I'll be having concern because I don't want to drop them. And because they are good stock as well.
What's the volume of the what's the size of the portfolio? How much is the portfolio?
The one in Nigeria is about 20 million. While the one in America here is about, let me say, 15,000.
Your Nigerian portfolio, 20 million naira, and how many stocks?
Let me say like 20, because I'm using 3 halves.
You have over diversified. You will need to go on the group and be less emotional. In fact, be unemotional and take down some stocks to reinvest in others that you'll be retaining. Or you do a one-on-one and I do it with you. That's what to do, because it's not what we can do in a live stream, right? You have obviously diversified, and of course, you can only work with the knowledge you have per time. And if knowledge improves, then you start adjusting, so portfolio will improve alongside the knowledge you have improved on. There's no issue about that.
Yeah, because the issue that I'm having is that I don't really have family in Nigeria, to be honest with you. I'm just doing that in case, because where I am now, this is not my country. So I'm just in case. So because my wife and my kid is here, I don't really have my father is in Benin Republic. So I'm more like into 3 countries.
Let me explain to you. The world is a global village now. Doesn't matter where you are located or your family, just have money. As long as you have money, anywhere you are, no problem. Okay? And the idea is make the most of the opportunities available. The Nigerian market is bubbling, a lot of opportunities there, you grow money there. The reason why we must now think global, irrespective of where you are located, is so you can take advantage of global markets. So your parents are in Benin Republic, you are abroad, but you have an investment vehicle in Nigeria to grow your money. That's a nice thing to do. grow it to the extent it can now fund every other thing that you want for the rest of your life, you have made the best move. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Sir.
Please, please, please. You are like, I had a wonderful time with the Nigerians in diaspora who enrolled for the diaspora leveraging on loans to invest in Nigerian market. We had a fantastic Saturday. For 2 hours, we were enjoying ourselves, opportunities. I was opening their eyes to what's going on. Monetary policies that favors lending or borrowing in the developed economies where they are versus the monetary policy rate that is harsh to borrowing in this part of the world and every other emerging markets. So you take advantage of where you are to enjoy, because when the lending rate is high here, we don't encourage borrowing too much here. But you can now, based on the lending rate which is high, get into investments here that will give you higher interest income. Then of course, we have the stock market which gives the most. We even discussed Dubai property and suddenly they are interested and said I should have a session for Dubai property and all that. So we are planning that as well. Maybe this month, later this month, we may have a session for Dubai investments, because the world is a global village. If Dubai is offering you better property investment options for US dollar earnings, then go for it. You are making money through the Nigerian market earning naira. You are making money from your property in Dubai in dollars. I mean, defend yourself all around. You are a global citizen. The world is a global village. Nobody should be a local champion. That's what we are preaching here. Otherwise, I couldn't be able to talk to you in Australia, in UK, in the US, in Canada, and all over the place. But now we are doing that. So nothing stops you from growing money also that way. Let's come on top. Nigerians can be wonderful in all we do. And hopefully through this platform, through this community, a whole lot of multi-billionaires will be raised. I'm too convinced. I'm not here for child's play. That's why these things are not about the money. Otherwise, I won't be coming here every day at my age now and be talking to people that don't know me. 2 hours. Last year, it was Monday to Friday, every day. Now it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And you think you are joking? We are not. A whole army of billionaires I imagine here. I'm too convinced. My own is to just do what I am led to do, and then you will see yourselves. Imagine. Look at your performances. January to May, or January to June, people are already doing 100 and something percent, 60%, 50%. Please clap for yourselves. You guys are too much. It is your results that convinces me that this thing is divine. Well, we can't just be joking. Nothing stops me from charging everybody. Come on now, before you log on to anywhere, you will pay. But we are on a different pedestal, a different mission, and it's working. Hello, good afternoon, Aloha. Are you there?
Good afternoon, Coach.
Nice to have you. Happy new month. How are you today?
Happy New Month, Coach. It's my birthday month.
Awesome. Happy birthday in advance. Oh, what a
Thank you
month.
so much, Coach.
So tell us, where are you streaming from? Let's progress.
This is Aloha, streaming from Warri, Delta State.
Aloha from Delta State, Warri. Thank you for
Yes,
joining.
sir.
Please proceed.
Yes, I have just one question. I bought 2 stocks for my mom. UPDC REIT. I've been trying to get it at 10 naira per share. I've been able to buy just 25,000 of it. Then I also bought Jais. But I'm thinking of offloading the Jais so that I can buy just UPDC REIT for her.
Your mom, what was your plan? Why do you want those stocks in the first place? Or what was the investment goal?
Sir?
Is your
For dividend, she's 76.
For dividend, you couldn't have gone for Jais then.
Yes, that was a mistake I made.
Okay, go ahead and sell the Jais. How many UPDC do you have now?
For the UPDC rate,
Yes, how many is there?
Jais, I have 55,100. 55,100.
How many UPDC rate is there?
25,000. I can't remember the fraction. I was able to get some this morning at 10 naira per share.
Okay,
I still have a bid to that's not been filled.
UPDC rate is okay, they pay dividend twice, but for a 70-something-year-old mommy, I would have preferred a stock like Zenith Bank.
I was looking at the resources too.
What you would do next time,
The total means
when you want to invest for dividend purpose, check for the dividend yield. When did you buy the UPDC and Jais?
I got just this month.
Oh.
Last month. No, this
Okay.
this morning.
Okay, I was thinking maybe you bought last year or January, because as at January, those Zenith was selling around 60 something or 70 or something like that. As at that time, the dividend yield would have looked very, very attractive, but it's okay. But of course, between UPDC rate and Jais, offload the Jais and buy more UPDC rate.
I actually started my investment journey this year, and I saw Zenith this January when it was 69.
Okay.
I was looking at Zenith when it rose to something, and I didn't even buy for myself. I've been trying. I was still very new, so I didn't know what I was doing.
Is well. Never mind. You are getting more mature now, and it can only get better from here. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Bye. Her son is at the background also. Interesting. You see, we are raising millionaire kids who are also unrelenting in knowledge acquisition. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Your name and where you're streaming from?
I'm Jojo from Edo State.
Jojo. Thank you for joining. Appreciate. Go ahead.
Okay. I talked of my food today, so I wanted to know if it is a good, if it was a good decision.
It depends. You made the move. The question is, what was your plan? Why did you buy it?
Yeah, my plan was for the dividends. I bought it because of the dividends and also the potential the stock has. But it's not the old stock in my portfolio, though.
Okay, I want to teach us something about dividends, because Eloho just left, and you have also called in speaking about dividend. Whenever you want to buy a stock based on dividend as a major criteria, and that's what I advise, especially for those approaching retirement, to tilt their portfolio towards having enough dividend paying stocks so that they can be having cash flow income from dividend without having to work. What you should look out for, whether you are a retiree or not, if your interest is dividend accumulation, please, the word is dividend yield. Dividend yield. Because a whole lot of these stocks were bought very cheap before now. I remember when they listed Bua Foods and Bua Cement. Bua Foods was listed around 50 naira or 30 naira or so. So those who bought at 30 or 50 naira, for them, 28 naira per share as dividend is a lot in terms of the yield. For you who will be buying at 800, 700, the yield currently is 2.9%. What yield means is what percentage of the capital you are investing will return to you as dividend annually based on the last dividend paid and the current price you are buying. You see the fact now? So, for instance, Bua Foods dividend yield based on the 28 naira record-breaking dividend they paid per share is only 2.9% because the price is now around 700 or 800 naira per share, if not 900. But for somebody who bought at 50, you know what that means? That's more than 50% dividend yield, because what they bought 50 naira is paying them 28 naira. So please, for everyone who is investing towards dividend, any stock you are picking because you want dividend, check the yield. The higher the yield, the better for you. Another intricate things about dividend is dividend grows. Why this Bua Cement's 28 naira is record breaking is because the last dividend was 13 naira per share. So imagine they did not increase it to 28. This 2% will become 1%. But again, you that is buying now, if the company keeps growing profit, that means profit after tax will keep growing. That means their ability to grow dividend will be there, so that they can move from paying 28 naira to 35 naira. So gradually, when you stay longer, your dividend yield also increases alongside with the increasing dividends per share.
Okay, sir. And I also want to throw more light on what you just said. I have UBTC rate, 500,000 units as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it a very good decision for the dividends sake?
Okay, now let's work with that. How much? Because dividend yield is a function of the price you bought, not the market price. You could have bought many years back. You could have bought just recently. So it's a function of how much you bought versus the last dividend payout. So how much did you buy your UPDC rate? 500,000 shares. How much?
I think I bought my UBTC rate this month. Not this month, this very year. I bought at average cost of 7 naira per share.
Good. You bought at 7 naira. They paid, will work with last year's dividend, which was 55 kobo per share.
Yes, sir.
You see that? This year, they've paid interim of 30 kobo. They will pay a final. Now, if they decide to increase it, that means they'll pay more than 22 kobo, because last year was 55 kobo or so. So let's work with last year, because this year's dividend is not complete yet. You bought at 7 naira.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are looking at, let's see, 55 kobo. You bought at 7. .85% of 7 naira. So based on your entry price And based on the dividend paid last year, your dividend yield on UPDC REIT is 7.85%. Now, if you check it with Boa Foods, you can see that your returns from UPDC REIT is more than Boa Foods because of the timing of your entry and the dividend paid. And if UPDC continues to grow their dividend, it can move from 7% to 10%, then to 20%, then to 50%, depending on how they grow the dividend. Then somebody who is coming to buy at that time, your own dividend yield is 20%, might be buying at a dividend yield of 7%. Whereas you entered early enough and yours has grown to 20%. So that's the way dividend yields work.
Okay, so thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's already past 2 p.m. and I never knew it. But you see, these things are very important. Let me explain. In 2021, 5 years ago, NACO was selling for under 2 naira. If you bought NACO 2 naira, and the last dividend they paid this year is 6 naira 25 kobo. That means you collected more than 3 times the price you paid for the stock. So your dividend yield is 300 and something %. Because if you spent 2 million naira to buy 1 million shares, the dividend they paid this year, based on 6 naira 25 kobo, is 6.25 million. Something you used 2 million to buy. So you have received 2 million 3 times. That is 300%. That means 6 million came to you for something you bought at 2 million in 1 year's dividend. Last year, the dividend was 5 naira 94 kobo. What you bought with 2 million, they paid you 5.9 million, almost 3 times. This year, more than 3 times. Next year, it could increase. So everybody who bought NACO that time, your dividend yield is now 300 and something %. But as at that time, dividend used to be 30 kobo. Just like TIP is doing now. Just like UPDC REIT is doing now. First interim dividend they've paid is 30 kobo. Final, they will pay another something maybe smaller or another 30 kobo, making it 60 kobo, because last year they paid 55 kobo. If they grow profit, they will pay up to 60 kobo, 30 kobo more next interim dividend. So understand these dynamics and know why we invest long term, because now whoever bought NACO 2 naira has been reaping 3 times the dividend, the amount paid, apart from the capital gains, where the stock price has moved from 2 naira to nearly 200 naira. Of course, it went above 200 naira. It's now 189. So 1 million shares that you used 2 million naira to buy, even as it has dropped from 240 something, is 189 million now. Something you spent only 2 million. It took only 5 years. If you understand the kind of money in this market, you will not be in a hurry to run away from stocks that you are buying. You are not doing Forex. This is not crypto. This is a business you are investing in that exists. Have this mentality so that you stay long enough to make all the money there is in the market. Ladies and gents, this is where we come to the end of today's live stream. The video will be uploaded on YouTube. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, it's free. Go and subscribe so you can watch this one and previous live streams. Remember, most of the things we discuss 1 month after the live stream still very relevant to today's market activities. But you know what? I'm sure we've got a fantastic learning session today and you are wiser as far as investing in stocks is concerned. This is how we want to start the first trading day of the year, of the month of June, and hopefully we finish even stronger as the second half of the year beckons by the time this month comes to an end. Thank you so very much. Apologies to everyone whose comments and calls I could not take because of time. We will do this again on Wednesday, same time, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Nigerian time. Until we meet again, this is me saying thank you very much and happy new month once again. And bye for now. Thank you and all the best. Enjoy the rest